Guards.
But most parents will tell you it can be a tough job to raise kids, and while all the high-tech tools do have their benefits, there are certainly concerns that come with smartphones and tablets. Well, tonight we're looking at 3 apps that are rated for kids, but they might raise a few eyebrows with parents. News Source 16's Angela Brauer explains in our special report. It's called Downloading Danger.
It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, whether it's the iPhone, the iPad, or an iPod, or even an Android. Once you have one, you are hooked, and there's no escaping the App Store. These days, we are tied to technology.
Hello?
Perhaps tied to it the most, kids and teenagers, and they know their way around the App Store on most phones. Many of those apps can sharpen their minds, help them do their homework, and overall be more productive. But all of this technology, these games, these apps, they can lead to problems.
All apps are not good, and even the good ones are not good if they're played too long.
Licensed professional counselor Jamie Gwynn explains a lot of these apps can come with a downside. Now more than ever, she says parents need to be in control.
People who design these apps are trying to make money, and they understand very well that these are addictive.
Take the game Top Girl, for example. To be the top girl, you have to dress hot. Hot enough for a modeling job, and hot enough to hit the bar, pick up a guy, and take him home. When I tell you about this and I tell you that it's rated for girls or even just kids that are 12 and up, what are some of your first thoughts?
That's disgusting, and I don't want my children around that.
If you're not hot enough, you get sent home.
Nowhere in any of the organizations or the books about raising girls' self-confidence does it say that you should learn to be addicted to shopping or party or flirt with hot guys.
But shopping, partying, and flirting with hot guys earns you points in this game. Even when you're not logged into the game, it keeps playing, giving your girl energy for the bar and for those modeling gigs, and coins for better clothes. And it even sends you naughty text messages to remind you you're missing out.
It is adding to the addictive nature of it. Your child might be happily doing homework and they get this email, oh, your girlfriend looks cuter than you do, better come back, or something. That's like a pusher.
And what about the game Clear Vision? In this game, the character starts out as a store employee, becomes unhappy with his job, and turns into a violent gunman. What do you think of that when I tell you the rating is for kids 9 and up?
I don't think that's appropriate at all.
It could promote violence, and it could be not good.
Because it does affect the children in a social aspect, even at the age of 3 and 4. It causes them to become more aggressive.
And while that same game has a more explicit version for those 17 and up, the intent is still the same. What about this game Fatify? Fatify. You take a picture of yourself or a friend, and the app morphs the face to appear fat. So fat, you can jiggle it with a tap of the screen.
I think it's just one more example of the message from our culture that thin is good, fat is bad. And fat is bad for health-wise, but this is not about that. This is about making fun of people. And I think the danger of Fatify is it being used to be mean.
Regardless of whether it's 10 years old or 4 years old, it is really inappropriate, needs to be monitored by parents, and I think that some parents are kind of failing in that situation.
Parents should know there are official ratings released by the company that designs and programs the app, but the rating is placed so far down at the bottom of the screen, it takes some effort to notice.
And when I look at stuff, I've not paid attention to the ratings to even know that they're there.
We asked Apple about their ratings policy. They told us that essentially anyone can make an app, and that app can hit the ground running if it looks or sounds popular to a smartphone user.
To think that, I can't be disciplined enough to control myself with the iPhone, it's hard to imagine that kids can be as well.
And it was for that reason that Kyle got rid of his iPhone.
If you're not disciplined enough to know how to control yourself, then I think they can do a lot of damage.
Gwynn says parents like Kyle need to realize and recognize.
The idea is balance. Figure out what your values are and what you want your children to be learning. Apps that are violent or teach values that are against our own family values, I think can be dangerous.
She says times have changed drastically and parenting, like anything else, needs to keep up.
100 years ago, we had 100%, parents had 100% control over what their kids saw and heard and experienced. Since 1912, we've had less and less and less. So we have to kind of fight against that, and we have to make sure that we stand our ground. Set up really clear guidelines with clear expectations and clear consequences. They won't be happy about it, but that's part of being a parent.
And remember that kids look to their parents as role models, so it's important for you to turn away from those apps yourself and don't just hand over that phone or tablet as a distraction. In Springfield, I'm Angela Brauer, News Source 16.
Now, she does have some websites that parents can turn to for tips. If you're interested and to find those, just go to KMTR.com and click on Get It.